Happy souls, welcome back to my channel. This is Charlotte with Happy Twins 1111. My beautiful friends, I've got a nice reading for you today. We've got 3 piles. We have got the Light Seers Tarot with a Amazonite, the Vagabond Wild Tarot with green opal, and the Hyde Tarot with Selenite. And we are asking, how's your person thinking and feeling? What's going on in their head? What's going on in their heart? We want to know. What do you need to know about this? Spirit will only share what's appropriate for you to know. So choose a pile. There's no right or wrong way to choose. You might be drawn to more than one. That's okay too. These are all timeless readings. So trust that you found it at the right time for you. And remember to make a note in the comments of which pile you chose, so that if you revert to this video at a later date, you'll know which one you've watched already. So I'm going to move piles 2 and 3. Oh, this one's such a slippy, slidey one. We're going to move them out of the way. And we are going to start with pile 1, Amazonite, the Light Seers Tarot. So I'm going to use some oracle decks as well. I may pull some charms. There won't be an extended today, but hopefully we can get all of your answers in this one reading. So let's do this. What is your person thinking and feeling about you, about this connection? Sorry, just need to give them a good shuffle. Whilst I'm shuffling, don't forget to check me out on Instagram, Happy Souls 1111. And if you haven't joined my Facebook group already, and you are on the twin flame or soulmate journey and you need some support, we are there for you. You can find a link to that in the description box below. So let's do this. We have got the 3 of Cups, the Page of Cups, the 10 of Cups in reverse, the Page of Swords in reverse, the 2 of Wands, the 6 of Cups, the Hierophant in reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Now, I'm also going to use these cards today. These are absolutely gorgeous. They were a gift from one of my students, Samantha. They're called Twin Flame Messages Volume 1. I haven't used them in one of my video readings before, so I'm excited to get them out for you today. And if you would like to purchase this deck, I will leave a link in the description box below. I always list what decks I'm using in the reading down there, and I'll put a link next to this deck. Sometimes I feel as if you are with me, even though you are not. You feel like home to me. I think about you more often than you think. So that's really beautiful. Such pretty cards. Okay, I'm also going to use some of these blanks, which are they were just blank playing cards that I've written messages on. And we have got, you're all my heart ever talks about, so I stopped listening. Some resistance there. My heart says yes, but my head says no. Someone like you deserves so much more than someone like me. Okay, let me just check that these are all in shot, so you can see everything. Oh, do you know what? We've got some more room here. Let's get some more. Okay, I'm going to use, this is the Divine Energy Oracle. Correct your mistakes. Be patient. Embrace your power. Ask with sincerity. Okay, so what I'm seeing happening here is that you two have decided to be friends. You know, we've got the 3 of Cups here. And it's clarified by the 2 of Wands, which is really decisive action. And I just feel like for your own sanity, you've decided to be friends. You've decided that that's all that's appropriate to occur between you at the moment. And yet in reality, you're both aware that this isn't a platonic connection and that there is a tremendous amount of love here. I feel like you had no choice but to accept friendship. It was kind of that or nothing. And it does feel like a pained energy for you. But I will say that this person you're inquiring about knows very well that there is much more than friends here. It could be that they are involved in a third-party situation, and that's what's led to this being, you know, just friendship. But what's really apparent here is that this person is loyal to you. You've probably known them since childhood. That won't relate to all of you, but I feel a good number of you have known this person from childhood. And, you know, each of you represents the one that got away to the other. Now, regardless of this decision to try and be friends, this person thinks about you constantly. This is a really interesting card for the Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups is about messages. It's about crushes. It's about all that lovely, casual, exciting energy that exists when you meet someone new, you know, when you're not committed, when everyone's still wondering what's going on. But it's a nice part of it. And what you can see here is these kind of hands in the background that are actually connecting. And I don't know if you can see up close, but there's two circles there being brought together in the center in red and yellow. That's grounding and solar plexus energy. And then there's this part of him that's elevated above, and that pigs might fly, a flying pig and a vessel. So I don't know what the story is behind this card, because I've not actually read the book. But it feels like this person is aware that they need to elevate themselves above their current energy. They need to correct their mistakes. They need to use their heart space to grow. And it feels like your energy asks them to grow. And they're not really trusting that that's a possibility for them. And whilst they're sat here pretending there's friendship, they know that there is something much deeper here. The Six of Cups is a lovely energy. It's the soulmate card. I do think this person recognizes your soulmates. They definitely feel that there is this beautiful, destined, harmonious connection between you. And again, they do feel this massive sense of loyalty. But that emotional divide, the inner conflict that exists here with this, my heart says no. Sorry, my heart says yes, but my head says no. You're all my heart ever talks about. You know, I'm always thinking about you. You're home to me. And yet it feels like this person, you know, is refusing to take this relationship to the next level. We've got the Ten of Cups in reverse here, and it's clarified by the Hierophant in reverse. And again, it feels like because this person needs to grow. They need to grow. They don't doubt their ability to grow. They're resistant to growth. They're resistant to that transformation. They're resistant to higher learning. They can acknowledge the soulful connection, but they're not able to actually have a conversation about it or take this relationship any deeper. For some of you, as I said, this may be because there's a karmic in the mix there. This has led to some, I think, really childish communication, and it may be with a page showing up that this person is quite a bit younger than you, and so is very intimidated by the prospect of a kind of very serious, committed relationship. They don't want that new beginning, and so they revert to this kind of communication, which isn't authentic. It can be petty, it can be somewhat inflammatory at times, and I feel this is why you've had no choice but to kind of say, look, let's just be friends, okay, let's just leave it there. This person does want to kind of repair that. They want to embrace their power. I feel like they do believe in the journey ahead. They believe in this journey of the soul that you've discussed with them. But they are so terrified of it. And it's a really childish fear. It's there's a Peter Pan energy to it. So this person definitely doesn't want to grow. They're not ready to grow. They're not ready to transform. They don't know how to. And there is a little bit of resentment here as well, because they don't see that they have a choice. You know, it feels like they're not in control of this situation or this destiny, and that they, so they're being quite stubborn. This is the energy of wanting to choose to move forward when they're ready. They know they're not ready, and they're not sure why they're not ready, but they're going to be, real stubborn about digging their heels in. So the best thing you can do at this stage is, I feel you need to take the pressure off, which you've done by presenting friendship, but you also need to stop focusing on the growth that this person needs to do. You need to stop discussing that with them. They know they need to heal. They know they need to sort their life out. They know they need to fix things. But by you going on and on and on about it, you're actually pushing them further and further away from that happening. As I said, they're going to do this on their own terms. And so long as you're asking them to do it, it's not their own terms, and they're going to not do it out of principle. Really stubborn energy here. I want to say Aries, even though there aren't any cards coming up here that are representative of Aries necessarily. I don't think there are. We've got the Two of Wands. There could be some Aries energy in there. But I do feel this very stubborn Aries energy. So this person likes the idea of all that power and all that healing and ascension, but they don't believe in it. They don't believe in their ability to have it. They're a bit frustrated that it's been thrust upon them. And you need to just back off. Accept this casual liaison that you both agreed to kind of walk with. It says here as well, someone like you deserves so much more than someone like me. You know, this person definitely has significant self-worth issues that stop them from starting again. And again, I'm drawn to this Ace of Pentacles that has roots emanating from its bottom. This is in reverse. They don't want that new beginning. They don't want to grow. You know, they don't believe. They feel like it's doomed to failure. These feelings are there. They think about you constantly. You know, and they feel that you're with them. They feel the intimacy of this connection. Ask with sincerity. I want to pull a card for this. What is this about? Ace of Cups in reverse. So I feel like, you know, you may have asked them how they really feel, and it just feels like they weren't forthcoming at all. Yeah, we've got Death in reverse. Again, they weren't ready for that transformation. They weren't ready for this transformation, for the connection to transform, to become expressive, to become mature, to start dealing with, you know, the emotional depths of this connection. It's really simple. The head says no. There's a war between head and heart here, and this person simply isn't ready for you. As much as they do have these feelings, there's a really childish energy here that makes it so that they're just not able to deal with these feelings in the way that you perhaps have the maturity to do so. Really frustrating energy for you, part one. So, what do they want? The world. Of course they do. They want the whole world. Hermit in reverse. And the Seven of Swords. One more. King of Swords in reverse. The Guidance. Four of Wands. Queen of Wands in reverse. The Star in reverse. And the Eight of Swords. Okay, I'm going to level with you, part one. This person definitely needs some space from this connection. They are in a very vicious cycle of negative beliefs. I touched upon this before. I said that your energy asks them to grow and they're not ready for that. Now, in reality, they are so resistant to this that if you keep pushing, if you stay in their zone of awareness, and even when you're not communicating these expectations, it's like they emanate from you. Energy doesn't lie. You can play it cool and say what you think you should be saying, but ultimately, the energy within you, the energy of your desires, your needs, your longing, your pain, your frustration, you know, they still pick up on that subconsciously. And I really feel like both of you need space. They do want the world. They want to be with you. They do want unity. That much is clear. But again, and this message has come up to be reaffirmed, not only are they refusing and stubborn about going in and disbelieving of it, but they're also going to be really sneaky about avoiding it. And this is a really interesting Seven of Swords. It's the card of deception. But what we actually see happening here is this gentleman who's in the light is very much hiding from it. He's got his hood up, he's got his coverings on, you know, and he's sneaking around. He's very defensive, he's holding a weapon. You know, he doesn't want to be in the light. He's not ready for this spiritual path, and he is going to resist it at all costs. And with the King of Swords in reverse here, he doesn't want to communicate about it. He doesn't want to think about it. Yet he at the moment is in this energy of wishing this wasn't happening. And, you know, it's a runner energy. Now, despite that, I feel like he finds it pretty hard to stay out of your way. And so this friendship type communication feels like the less pressured way forward for each of you. It's something he wants to keep you close because he misses you when you're not there. But he can't stomach right now moving into this very serious energy that's all spiritual and romantic and deep. He just isn't equipped to that right now. The guidance for you, though, is the Four of Wands. It's to trust that you'll have that unity, that everything will come into balance. You're being asked to recognize that you're in this Queen of Wands reversed energy. Now, this is Pisces and Aries energy in reverse. I mentioned Aries energy earlier. It's come up here. But the Queen of Wands in reverse is a bit of a player. You know, she is sexually provocative, flirtatious, charismatic. She's the seductress, but she's doing it in very coercive ways. And I feel like you may not realize it, but even though you've said you want to be friends, you know, you might be more inclined to push the friend with benefits kind of energy, and try and tease him and tempt him, you know, with your sexual energy. but that's not being true to what you've agreed. You know, there's something coercive about it. Again, you're trying to get what you want from him without communicating or asking with sincerity. Neither of you is actually being authentic here, because I feel like he's pulled back so much that you've stopped being vulnerable with him, and you're losing faith as well. You know, with the star in reverse, this indicates your lack of optimism and trust in the situation and the journey. And I think this is why the Four of Wands has come up for you. You know, there's also a message here that you do need to focus on the home. You need to get that in order. You're going to feel much more relaxed and poised to enjoy that space when you've done that. We've also got the Eight of Swords here. Now, this is a card of self-entrapment, but she's actually looking in the mirror. In real terms, she's not bonded and bound and wrapped up like this. She's not as tangled as she thinks she is, but her perception is that she is trapped, that there's nowhere for her to go, that she can't see, she doesn't have the perspective she needs. In reality, this is a self-imposed entrapment. You know, this is connected to your own limiting beliefs and thought patterns. This is self-sabotage. It's actually mirroring the self-sabotaging energy that he is in. So there's a real need here to be aware of how your own energy isn't authentic and how your own energy is also creating this imbalance and disruption in the connection. Because as I said, even though you might not be saying it, he feels your neediness. He feels that you're trying to trick him back, that you're trying to, you know, play games with him. And I don't think you realise that you're doing it. You know, I think you're quite proud. In your mind, I've let go. I've told him we can only be friends. In your mind, it's kind of, you know, you need to feel in control. So you kind of tell yourself it's your decision, it's for the best, but really this isn't what your heart longs for, and it's not what your heart is comfortable with at this moment in time. I want to get some of these guidance cards for you and a couple of charms to finish up with here, pile one. So these are just again blanks that I've written on. What's the guidance for you? I mean, definitely you need some time apart from this person. You need to start taking your healing path seriously. You're going to go round and round in circles with this person until you do. It's really that simple. Ego blames others. Taking ownership of your pain empowers your divinity. You do not appreciate your blessings. This is not a normal relationship and you cannot make it so. Trust and surrender to your path. The longer you delay your own healing, the longer you wait for peace and joy. I mean, I've just said all of these things to you. Yeah, this is coming through, you know, pretty loud and clear for you. Pile one. Let's have a look. So we have got the origami fortune teller, bullshit remover, the moth, and this, oh, it's a couple coming together. I feel like we need to get one more. The crown. Okay. Ego blames others. Taking ownership of your pain empowers your divinity. And again, this has come up with this, the paper fortune origami teller thingy. Now, you know, in your mind, you probably think that you guys aren't together because he can't get his shit together. He can't grow up. He can't take responsibility for himself. He can't heal. He can't treat you in the way that you need. He can't commit. He can't be honest with you. He can't be authentic. He's not doing his part. There is a lot of frustration connected to that at the moment, but you're not recognizing that, you know, he's not going to speed up that transformation with you breathing down his neck, nagging him in this anger of frustration. And you need to focus on your own journey. That's what empowers your divinity. Ego blames others. Taking ownership of your pain empowers your divinity. So when this guy has upset you and he's pissed you off because he's not doing the thing you need and want him and expect him to do, you've got to remember that you're not entitled to that from him. It's not his fault that you feel that pain of him not wanting to be with you. You know, you might see that he's being sketchy, uncommitted, deceitful, dishonest, not authentic, not showing up, not being reliable. But the reality is he's mirroring how you are treating yourself. If he's being sketchy, you're being sketchy with yourself. If he's not showing you enough affection, you're not showing enough affection to yourself. If he is not showing up and committing, you are not showing up and committing for yourself. He mirrors back at you how you feel about yourself. And you can keep blaming him. You can keep being angry and frustrated. You know, in reality, you love this person very much, but you can't give them that love or expect it from them until you can give it to yourself. This is the message here. Stop blaming him. Take ownership of your pain. Start to heal and love yourself. And then you open the door for him to actually give you love. You know, so you've got to take responsibility here and recognize that you have power to adjust this situation. You can go around in circles as long as you want. It's saying you don't appreciate your blessings, and this is coming up with this crown. Now, the crown charm is about your divinity. You know, this is about embracing your power, stepping into your divinity, you know, recognizing you have a choice to choose how this is, removing the bullshit that's the complaining and the ego stuff, and focusing on your power and your divinity and your healing. This is not a normal relationship. You cannot make it so. Trust and surrender to your path. Surrender to transformation. That's what the moth represents. It's about coming out of the dark into the light. He's hiding from the light. Doesn't mean you should hide from it. He's hiding from it because you are. If you can't embrace your power and embody the light and your own divinity, he's definitely not going to. As the divine feminine, you lead by example. You're the leader in this connection, the leader towards the light. And, you know, you can't control it and expect it to be like a normal relationship. It's never going to be. And all of those tricks and games and rules that you've used in previous relationships to try and make things work, they're never going to work in this relationship. The only thing that's going to make this union happen is when you come into union with yourself. And the longer you delay your own healing, the longer you wait. The longer you wait for that peace and joy. We're being shown here the light and dark coming together harmoniously. You know, you're both light and dark. You both have shadow in you. You're not as surrendered. Oh, I've chipped now. You're not as surrendered as you think. You need to surrender some more, because there is more healing to do here. And you hold the energy of this connection, and it feels like there's a lot of blame for your person and not taking enough responsibility for how you need to empower yourself. So I really hope that helped part one. That was quite blunt, wasn't it? The message comes through me, not from me. Don't shoot the messenger. But, you know, we need to hear this stuff, because I don't want you to be stuck. And I know how it feels to be going around in circles, just desperately wanting them to take that action towards you. And when you get out of that painful longing and you realise that, you know, all you have to do is take action towards yourself, and that kind of relieves all of that pain, you're going to feel so much better. I promise you, it's the way forward. And it's not easy to get into that energy, but it is possible. You've just got to be consistent with yourself. You've got to take this journey and what it asks of you seriously. Okay, thanks for tuning in, part one. Please do hit the like button. It really does help my channel to grow, and I appreciate it so much. And if you would like to see more content like this, tap the subscribe button, click the little bell icon, and I will see you next time. Okay, part two, the Vagabond Wild Tarot. Let me just pick all these up. They're such slippy, slidey cards. So, what does your person think and feel about this connection and you right now, part two? We're going to find out. Let's see. What are they thinking and feeling? I'm going to keep that. 3 of Wands to start us off. What are they thinking and feeling? The 7 of Wands. The 6 of Wands, and the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. The Chariot in reverse. Justice in reverse. The 4 of Pentacles. And the 2 of Wands in reverse. What an interesting lineup. So I'm going to get some more of these cards from Samantha. If you'd like to know where to buy this deck, it's called Twin Flame Messages Volume 1. You can find a link in the description box below. You feel like home to me. I think about you more often than you think. These came up for part 1. It's really strange. I'm on the verge of reaching out, but something is holding me back. And from my own little deck of blanks that I've written on. Oh, I don't want all of them. Too many. Let's try again. We found forever, but at the wrong time. I can't cope with your codependent behaviours. And you are always on my mind every second, every minute, every day. I want to clarify this one. What's holding them back? No matter who I choose, someone gets hurt and the guilt keeps me stuck. Okay, so I think we're definitely looking at a karmic or third-party situation with this person. It does start here with the 3 of Wands. Any of the 3s in tarot can indicate a third party. So I think that card clarifies why they're, they stay away or keep their distance and why they're reluctant to reach out to you. We've also got shine your light, be decisive, make no judgments. One more, keep your commitments. So this person's really torn, and I have to say that they're not taking action to resolve these energies between you. I mean, we've seen this person feels like they need to reach out, but they're holding back. But this person recognizes they're in the wrong place, and they're kind of just waiting for it to change. It's actually this energy is really irritating me because it's like, come on, if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same result. Your circumstances aren't going to change in their own. They are. It feels like this person's waiting for that thunder bolt of lightning to just, I don't know, make their partner leave them, or, so an opening is created for them to move in a different direction. They don't want to take responsibility for it. So it's this energy of just waiting and things going on and them still being kind of stuck. So yeah, we found each other, or we found forever, but at the wrong time. And I really do feel like this person, is probably with somebody else. Now, they're also saying, I can't cope with your codependent behaviours. And we've got the 7 of Wands here, which suggests barriers up. This person is really defensive. And I think, probably in light of them choosing to stay with their existing relationship, because they don't want anyone to get hurt. Whatever they choose, someone gets hurt. And this is the guilt and the shame that keeps them stuck. But I think your response to this has been really hard for them. They recognise that this has really hurt you. There's been an intense outpouring here. And I do feel like you've really shamed them. You may have accused them of leading you on. You may have accused them of betraying you somehow. This is part of your own karma. There are deep abandonment wounds here that for sure this person has triggered, but there's a requirement to recognize that this is the karma that you're transmuting for yourself in this lifetime. And I feel like these acts of betrayal, abandonment, rejection, you've probably experienced that throughout your lifetime. These are the kind of lessons that you're attracting so that you can resolve that learning. It just feels as well that you are prone to choosing unavailable people. You're the sort of person, you may say to your friends, oh God, I'm so bad at choosing people. They're always married or not ready for commitment. They're always unavailable in some way. But you are deliberately being drawn to unavailable people because you need to learn healthy detachment. You need to learn to release all of that codependency, the abandonment, the rejection wounds. And so that energy is going to keep presenting until you pay attention to it. And this person, I think, has reacted very strongly by cutting you off. And, they do want to reach out, but I feel like your emotional response to them choosing to stay in the relationship they're in has been so overwhelming for them that they felt they had no choice but to put this boundary up. And, they are saying here, I was already in a relationship when you've met me. I never promised you to leave, that I would leave it. And even though I want to be with you, the guilt keeps me stuck here. But the outpouring of shame that you kind of brought to me isn't my energy to deal with. There's a firm rejection of that here. This is them saying, That's your healing to resolve, you know. The Six of Wands, they just want so much for everything to work out with you. They really, really do. You know, just to be clear, this person does want you. And in their heart, they choose you. But they haven't got the courage to walk away from the situation they're in. They haven't got the courage to let go. And they don't want to make a decision. They don't want to take responsibility. We've got the Ten of Wands in here and the Five of Pentacles in reverse. They don't want to reject anyone. They don't want to hurt anyone. I mean, this person thinks about you non-stop. And you see this one here, I'm really drawn to this Shine Your Light card and how they're waiting. They're looking at this light. You know, they feel your light. They feel the intensity and joy of that energy that exists between you. But look at them again here. The light is behind them and they're clinging on to this comfort, those Four Pentacles, that stability, that comfort, that security that they've built into their existing connection. They don't know how to let go of that. They don't know how to take that away from the other person. They want to make a decision, but really the only decision they've made is that they had to put a barrier up, that they couldn't be in your life knowing they were hurting you this much. They are asking you not to judge them. They feel judged by you, and they're hurt. You know, they're hurt by you because they had to keep their commitments. And I do feel quite strongly that they never promised you more than what was presented, and they didn't intend for things to get so deep and meaningful between you. And they sincerely regret that you've got hurt as a result of this. But, you know, they are saying you came into this situation with your eyes open. You knew I wasn't available, and to beat me up for not being able to come towards you seems very unfair to them. They are hurt about that. They don't feel that it was justified, that you treated them that way. They have to keep that commitment. I'm hearing there are really valid reasons as to why they can't leave that relationship at the moment. Perhaps their partner or their third party, their spouse, there may be children involved, there may be financial reasons, there could be very personal reasons. Perhaps that person really needs them. But either way, they're not prepared to be responsible for hurting this person right now. They're not ready to make that decision. And they're respectfully asking you to understand and to not judge them, and to recognize that it's not personal. They're not choosing to stay where they are because they don't love you. They're choosing because you've both still got karma to resolve. You've got your karma and they've got theirs. So what do they actually want? What do they truly want from you? Got the Four of Cups in reverse, the Nine of Wands, the Four of Wands, and the Two of Cups. Isn't that beautiful? You know, this person doesn't want to be withdrawn or separated from you. You know, they're distracted from you at the moment because they have to be. But they haven't really given up. This Nine of Wands is the energy of stamina and endurance and of perseverance. And it moves towards the Four of Wands and the Two of Cups, which are both powerful, beautiful union energies. Make no mistake, this person loves you. They miss you. You feel like home to them. They think about you all the time. But you've met one another at the wrong time. And you've got codependency issues that you need to work through. I feel like when your energy is settled, this person will feel more inclined to reach out. But for the time being at least, you know, you really need to focus on your own growth and to forgive them. They didn't mean to hurt you, and they feel really aggrieved that you are blaming them, you know, and that you're so angry with them. They don't feel like they deserve that anger. They wanted you to be amiable and to part company peacefully, and it's really hurt them that you haven't. Okay, so let's see. What's the guidance to you, part two? The Eight of Swords, the Page of Wands in reverse, the Three of Swords in reverse, and the Emperor. I'm going to get some of my own cards here for you for guidance. We'll get some charms as well. You have to start taking care of yourself in mind, body and spirit. Every experience you have had has led up to this moment. Release regret. Embrace and accept your divinity. Do not fear judgment. Be brave, face the fear and do it anyway. This is a new beginning. There is no going back. Wow. Let's get some charms for you as well. We have got the rose quartz heart, the save yourself floppy disc, I believe, babe with the power, hard times, and dusk till dawn. The 8 of swords. You have to start taking care of yourself in mind, body and spirit. And this has come up. I'm going to bring these up to show you. These are the cards, and this has come up with save yourself and the rose quartz heart. You have to start taking care of yourself in mind, body and spirit. The 8 of swords is self-entrapment. The swords represent the mental body. And what we're seeing here is this woman that she's blindfolded and she's entrapped or surrounded by these swords, trapped by these swords. But really they represent what's going on in our head. These are limiting beliefs, negative thoughts, constant ruminating, what-ifing, doubt that keeps her stuck in that place, stops her from moving forward, stops her from seeing with clarity. And, you know, the charms ask you to save yourself and to give yourself this self-love. Ultimately, and this came up for part 1, and I'm going to say the same to you, you can wait as long as you want to do this. No one's going to force you and no one can do it for you. It's like when you're a bit overweight and you decide to go to the gym and get fit. You can have the best personal trainer and so many people cheering you on, showing you how to exercise. But unless you get down and do that work every day, you're not going to see a change. You can talk about it. You can acknowledge it's what you need. But unless you stick with it, you're not going to get fit. And you might stick with it for a short time and then give up again. And then you lose that fitness you've worked so hard to win. You regress. And you needed to hear this today because you know how to take care of yourself. You know how to save yourself. I feel you've studied this. You've watched others do it. You talk about it all the time, but you're not walking the talk. You've got to believe and trust. You know, the Page of Wands, again, suggests that you don't trust and believe in your own power and divinity. You want to. It feels so magical to be able to say, I'm a divine feminine. You know, I'm going to be okay. I've got all of this power. I can heal myself. I can heal others. You know, sometimes you think you're just a plain Jane. You know, little old me from some little old town. You know, nothing exciting's happened in your life. And you just think, how can I be this divine being of power? But everything that's happened to you so far has actually taught you to be strong and powerful. You know, you haven't done anything wrong. You know, there's an indication that you need to release regret here. But these 2 charms coming up with this are so beautiful. I believe, butterfingers. I believe, babe with the power. You are the babe with the power. You've got to start trusting yourself. Stop treating yourself like an amateur. You've got so much life experience, and your life experience is valid. Just because you've not been a Reiki Master since you were 12 years old, just because you've never picked up a deck of tarot cards until recently, or, you know, you've not read all these books about, I don't know, mindfulness and meditation and metaphysics and whatever. You know, you've got to let go of this idea that you're not divine, that you're not good enough, that you're just a simple, plain person. You've got to start believing in your own power because you've got it. You really have got it. And this is what's going to elevate you out of the pain you're feeling and allow you to heal from these behaviours that ultimately keep you two apart. I mean, their choices to stay where they are keep you apart. But right now you could, you could be interacting, you could be friends, you could be growing together. But, you know, this person couldn't give you everything that you wanted. And so you decided it was all or nothing, you know, which was an ultimatum, really. It was an ultimatum. Now, we've got hard times. And this is coming up with the 3 of Swords in reverse. And when I see the 3 of Swords in reverse, if we turn the 3 of Swords upright, these swords that pierce the heart through the force of gravity over time, are going to fall out on their own. This is time that's healing. But when this energy is reversed, gravity isn't working in our favour. It's driving that pain more deeply into our hearts. The longer you ignore the wounds and the grief within you, the longer you're going to face these hard times that you find yourself in. All of this pain doesn't need to be a constant in your life. You've got to accept responsibility and recognise you're choosing it for yourself. Again, embrace your divinity. Don't fear judgment. It's interesting it came up over that card. And be brave. Face your fear of healing and do it anyway. There's a fear here of really digging in to those deep wounds. You don't want to bring it up. And I understand that, but I promise you, as it comes up, it stings for a moment and then it passes. It's gone. And you're left feeling lighter and brighter. There's always a high afterwards. We've got the Emperor. This is a new beginning. There is no going back. Dusk until dawn, which is, shadow until light, dark until light. You've got to walk into the darkness. We've got divine masculine energy here. I think you recognize and accept this person is your twin flame, and you've got to keep marching forward. You can't keep going backwards. You've got to move from dark to light and trust in the forward momentum of your journey. This person is going to be there for you eventually. They want to be. But you need to lovingly allow each of you the space to resolve the karma and your healing. You've got to stop blaming them. You need to forgive them and you need to forgive yourself. Okay, part 2. I really hope that was helpful. I really feel sad for you. There's so much sadness coming through here because I know that you are in so much pain. But please believe me, these hard times, they're not gonna stick around, okay? But you have got to start facing them so that you can transmute some of that shadow and start feeling better. Okay, don't forget to check me out on Instagram. If you enjoyed this reading, do tap the like button and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. If you tap the little bell icon, that will actually notify you every time I post. So hopefully I will see you next time. Thank you so much, part 2. Have a great day and lots of love. Okay, part 1. Let's do this. You have chosen the Hyde Tarot with Selenite. This is a beautiful deck. It's actually just come up for sale again. This deck was created by an independent artist called Dan Francis. He's actually a friend of my daughter's. He did a Kickstarter campaign which was highly successful and was fully funded, and now you can buy it. So if you want to check it out, there is a link in the description box below to Dan's Instagram and website. My daughter is actually in this deck, immortalised within, which is really lovely. Maybe she'll come out and say hello. Okay, part 3. What is your person thinking and feeling about you, about this connection? What do you need to know about that? Spirit will only bring through what you need to know. They're allowed to have private feelings, but this is what you need to know. We have got the 8 of Wands. It's called the Vision in this deck. We've got the 3 of Wands in reverse, the Fox. We've got the Tower, called the Charm, in this deck. The Shell in reverse, which is the Knight of Wands in reverse. We've got the Statue, or the Death card, in reverse. We've got the Ace of Wands, or the Bottle. The Devil in reverse. And the Owl, or Queen of Cups. I feel like some of you were waiting to see an owl. I don't know why that just popped into my head, but I'm glad you got your sign. Please do let me know in the comments if that was you, because I heard it loud and clear. It was like, oh my God, the owl, that's the sign I asked for. Right. We have got, it feels like heaven when we're together, but it feels like hell when we're apart, and that frightens me. I withdrew from our connection so we both could grow. When we get back together, let us promise to never let each other go again. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, I'm going to get some of these blank cards that I wrote on myself as well. So there's like channeled messages from the masculine. I don't believe you really love me, though I wish it were true. I'm so proud of how far you have come. You inspire me every day. For some reason, I always think that says in spite. And I'm like, what does in spite mean? I don't even recognise my own handwriting. Even though it's been so long, you are still the first and last thing on my mind every day. Okay, beautiful friend. I get such tired energy off this whole reading. You're tired, your person's tired, everyone's tired. And even though we're starting off with the Eight of Wands, which is fast-moving energy, it actually feels like nothing is fast-moving for you in this connection. I really feel that this has just been stagnant for a really long time. There may have been no communication for a long time. I feel that you're tired, you're exhausted, and that they are as well. Lots of tired energy. So we've got rejuvenate, do all things in moderation, focus on success, and imagine solutions. Very practical guidance there. So pile 3. Your person sees what this relationship could be. They do have that vision. They receive that message from spirit. This person is spiritually aware of what's happening between you. But with the statue and this death card, they don't want to transform. They don't want to take this connection there at the moment. They're in their own bubble. We've got rejuvenate here, and I feel like this person is aware more than you realize of what needs to occur in the energy between you. They're aware that each of you needs to heal, and it does feel like they have an awareness that you are not. And I think this is what this means. I don't really believe you love me, though I wish it were true. I honestly think this person's actually quite spiritually evolved, and I'm hearing this is going to really annoy you when I say this, but I think they recognise that because you don't love yourself, because you've not done that healing, that you can't really love them. And they want that. You know, they're saying, though I wish it were true. They're proud of how far you've come. You know, it says you inspire me every day. And even though it has been so long, you're still the first and last thing on their mind. You know, this person does care about you very, very deeply. But they are aware that you need to grow and that it doesn't actually serve either one of you for you to be together right now. And so I do feel like they're being quite strategic in their avoidance of you, and I do think this person has really avoided you. And they're hoping that, you know, one day you're going to be done waiting, because being done waiting is going to be the energetic cue they need to actually return. It's like they bottle it all up. Now, the Ace of Wands is also about grasping the spiritual baton. And again, it just feels like this person is really aware that you're at the beginning stages of that rejuvenation, the journey. You know, it's just not appropriate for them to interfere with that right now. So they keep a lid on it. Something explosive has happened between you at some point. We've got the Tower here clarified by the Devil in reverse. This person recognises more of the required healing than you. And again, I know that's going to annoy you, but I do think this person's got emotional depth and maturity. They're recognising the codependency that exists in this connection. They're recognising it's not healthy. And yet, you know, they want you to grow. They're really firm in wanting you to grow. I don't think they're going to come forward. This is the Owl that some of you have asked for. This is Queen of Cups energy. They're not going to take action. They're not going to come out of their shell until you've moved into self-love. This person's tapped into it, I'm telling you. They care about you. They love you. And it says here, I withdrew from our connection so we both could grow. They recognise that need to happen. It feels like heaven when we're together. And when we get back together, we're never going to let each other go again. So this person's not interested in coming in and out of your life while you both heal. They're not interested in the conflict and the dramas that that's going to create. You know, they're recognising that you're a bit of a wreck right now. You're very codependent. And until you heal that, it's not going to happen. I honestly do think this person sees very, very clearly. I just feel like when you were together, when things were kind of on and off, back and forward between you, it says here, do all things in moderation. But what I'm finding is that you couldn't find a kind of balanced ground for moderate distribution of your love. There was an imbalance here in give and take. It's in both of you, in fact. It was either too much or not enough. There was no kind of middle ground, no balance there. And it's the same for them. You know, I feel like they were triggered to wake up in much the same way as you were. And I honestly see that you two are on a very even keel with your growth, except they're avoidant and you're anxiously attached. But this person does have faith that you will come back together, and they think about how that can happen all the time. I do feel that they're pretty impatient with you at times, you know, because, you know, they're recognizing that as the divine feminine energy in this interaction, you have power to kind of move this forward in a really impactful way. And they see you doing this work. They're proud of how far you've come. But I do feel they get a little impatient with you as well sometimes. But genuinely, this person definitely has a very spiritual perspective. They've woken up. They've recognized what this journey is. They've recognized the roles. And they're like, well, if separation means we get that time to grow as individuals and do our own work, let's do that. Let's focus on that. They've kind of made that decision, and they're hoping that you're sticking with it as well. We've got the Star here. So they are faithful and hopeful. The Jewel in reverse. They don't want to communicate right now. This is the Ace of Swords. The Disguise, the Knight of Pentacles. So they're thinking how to come forward without arousing too much suspicion, drama or activity. I do think they'd very much like to kind of cross paths with you or have some kind of interaction, almost to get an update. They may be quite sneaky about this. They may, because this is called the Disguise, this Knight of Pentacles. You know, even this is slow moving energy, this person's not in a rush. They may try and inquire through friends of friends or mutual contacts, something like that. There's definitely a need here to know what you're up to and to kind of get an update. But yeah, we've got 10 of Pentacles in reverse. They're not ready to communicate the truth. They're not ready to come together. That's not something they want at the moment, even though they're hopeful that this can happen in future. See what the guidance is for you, path 3. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, the Four of Swords in reverse, the Ace of Cups, and the Hermit in reverse. I'm going to use some of these blanks messages from spirit cards as well. We're also going to get some charms. Learn to appreciate where you are and how far you've come instead of being so focused on where you are not. Your ego is louder than your heart right now. Oh, and a message has come up here. When I'm with you, I don't know how to act. The energy between us is intense and overwhelming. You want your person to be intimate and vulnerable, but they can only meet you as far as you have met yourself. Let's get some charms as well. One more. Oh, we've got 2 more. One fell out. So we have got Without You I Feel Lost at Sea, Babe with the Power, Save Yourself, Don't Overthink It, The Love Jar, and Fake News. Okay. The guidance to you, path 3. I do feel like you feel lost without this person. It's so interesting for me that it says, without you, I feel lost at sea. And then we've got the Ace of Pentacles presenting as the Pearl. We had the shell come up over there as well. There is a gift in this for you that you're not seeing. And it does say, learn to appreciate where you are. You know, this being lost at sea gives you time to drift in your own emotional depths. And it says, you know, you've got to appreciate where you are, how far you've come, instead of being focused on where you aren't. This is already a new beginning. You're already sailing on the oceans of success. You've just got to trust that the current is moving you in the right direction, even though it feels like you're lost at sea and you can't see land in sight. In reality, you're being moved in the right direction, but in that deep emotion, without this person is where you need to be. It's when you decide to rise out of that you're going to start feeling better, when you decide to elevate yourself above it through your own healing practice. But the Four of Swords in reverse asks you to get out of your head, and it says here your ego is louder than your heart right now. Save yourself from that inner voice. This is where the pain is for you. It's that voice inside your head that says, you're an idiot. This guy's not interested in you. He's not spoken to you for over a year. You know, he probably never cared about you anyway. And you're putting your life on hold for this fool. And, you know, you're not good enough. You're not lovable enough. All of that doubt, all of those horrible things that you go over and over and over in your mind, that's Four of Swords energy. You've got to save yourself from that. You've got to become aware of how that voice within you isn't supportive. And it's not just telling you things about this connection, it's weakening who you are. It's bullying you. If anybody else spoke to you in the way that that inner voice did, that ego did, you would not be around that person. Yeah? This is the voice that when you look in the mirror says, I'm not good enough, I'm too old, I'm too fat, I'm too ugly, I wish I looked better, I wish I had this. You've got the power to elevate yourself above this, but you have to choose the voice of your heart when you're communicating with yourself. This is asking you to be aware of that inner dialogue and how much it's sabotaging your efforts to move forward in this journey. And again, you're asked not to overthink this. And we've got the Ace of Cups. Now, the Ace of Cups is about self-love, but it's also a new love or a new beginning. It's called the ring in this deck, so it can indicate commitment. But the message here is when I'm with you, I don't know how to act, and the energy between us is intense and overwhelming. And I feel like this is your person reassuring that you both overthink things and that you both felt that, and that you don't need to listen to your ego because, you know, they get in this energy as well. I do feel like they care about you very much. But again, you're being asked to focus on self-love and to stop overthinking the interactions you had. This person felt all of that intensity and awkwardness too, you know, but there is love here. But there's a lid on it. You know, you need to release it. We've got the Hermit here in reverse as well. It's called the Snail in this deck. So there's an energy of slow progress about this. And the Hermit, of course, is about going within and looking at that inner reflection. And with your ego being loud, you're listening. You think you're going within, but you're listening to your ego. That's probably telling you all kinds of rough, awful things about yourself. You need to pop the lid off and start embodying the love that resides within you. It says you want your person to be intimate and vulnerable, but they can only meet you as far as you have met yourself. And that's what Hermit energy is about. You know, you have to learn what vulnerability and true intimacy is by going within. And it feels like when you're trying to go within at the moment, it's a kind of surface level effort that's actually connecting you with your ego, the bullying voice, and not the actual sound of your soul and your higher self. You're getting fake news. If you work as a medium or channel, you need to get cleared because there's something you're bringing through for yourself or others that isn't authentic here. And again, this love in a jar, you know, don't bottle it up, let it flow. I feel like you constantly pull back your energy from this connection because you're so convinced that this person isn't coming back, that you're not worthy, that it's not going to happen, because that's what your ego keeps saying to you. But if you accept you're a twin flame, you kind of have to accept what this journey means. It means that you are eternally connected to this person, but that they're going to keep running away from you until you stop running away from yourself. That's what it means. It's not the case that this person doesn't love you. It's not the case that they don't want you and that you're wasting your time and you're never going to be with them. That's not what twin flame means. When you Google twin flame and say, what does it mean? It doesn't say someone that hates you and runs away and never comes back. It says you are eternally connected to this person, but they will continue to run from you so long as you run from yourself. If you can't love yourself, they can't love you. You've got to they can only meet you as far as you have met yourself. You've got to take responsibility. And you know what? I know I'm not telling you anything you haven't heard. But you need to keep hearing it, because right now your ego is ruling this journey for you. It's sabotaging this journey for you. It's bullying you and it's keeping you stuck. And you've got to save yourself. No amount of people like me telling you again and again is going to make the difference. You have to make the difference. So I really hope that helped, Path 3. I'm sending you all the love and all the light. And if you did enjoy this video, please do tap the like button. It helps so much and I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to see more content like this, make sure that you tap the subscribe button and the little bell icon next to it too. And that means you'll get an update every time I post. I'll see you next time. Lots of love. Bye.